see that?
No.
Did you see that flatfish? Okay, so you've seen the underwater footage. The tide's gone right out now. The tide's gone so far out now you can see the oyster, I don't know what you call them, the oyster platforms that we were snorkeling in earlier. You were seeing some of the small fry, some of the small fish that lives in and around the structures, but also some mullet. So now, like I say, the tide's now gone right out, and we're just going to sift this push net, 60 centimeter diameter push net, through the sands and see what we can get. These are obviously designed for shrimps, but it's just a really interesting thing to do because you can often find some really interesting stuff in addition to the shrimps. You can catch sand eels, juvenile flatfish, sometimes larger flatfish, sand eels, all sorts of small fish, gobies, blennies, things like that. It's just fun. It's an interesting thing to do. Interesting to see what life is out there. So we're going to give this a go, and we'll see what we catch. We've got a lot of hermit crabs here. Tiny little hermit crabs. Lots of them. Tiny little things. They're everywhere. Oyster shell. I'm probably catching shrimps, but the ones I've seen when I've been snorkeling and paddling have been really small, so they'll just pass through this mesh. Oh, there's one. There's a shrimp. We got our first shrimp, and we got some hermit crabs. Okay. Keep going over the sandbar. Let's go to the end of this platform. Oh, did you see that?
No.
Did you see that flatfish? Wow. Okay, lift up. Nearly caught a flatfish then. Like a little sole or something. Maybe the camera caught it. So
What's this?
that's just some shells. So nothing that time, but you did nearly disturb a little. Well, you definitely disturbed a flatfish. Nearly actually caught it. You just missed the net. So in here, we have a little sand goby. I think that's what it is. Just a little sand goby. Tiny little thing. Yeah, just there. I don't know if you can see that. So small. Let's get it in the bucket anyway. We'll have a little collection and we'll look at it when we get back. Well, we just caught a tiny little cuttlefish, like the size of my thumbnail. Beautiful little thing. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. We put it back in the water, you might see it do its thing. Yeah, there. So we'll be putting that back later, but it's just interesting to see. Well, I just missed that on the video, unfortunately, but it's pushing this along and then suddenly a big squirt of ink. So, obviously, just missed a cuttlefish. Had a baby one earlier, which squirted in the bucket actually. Tiny, tiny little pop of ink, very cute. Cuttlefish is the size of my thumbnail, smaller than. Oh, did you see that? Just going into the net there. Not the cuttlefish, but the cuttlefish ink. So actually, hopefully that's worked out and you did see it. I wonder, did we catch the cuttlefish? We did. We got the little cuttlefish. We got the cuttlefish that inked. There it is. Let's get that in the bucket safe, and then we'll put it back later. So I just saw some sand smelt earlier, just before that cuttlefish inked into the net. I saw some sand smelt. I tried to catch them, but that was not on the footage. That's not on the footage I was taking. Let's see. See if we can get another ink event. That was a lot of ink for a tiny cuttlefish. That one is twice the size of the previous one. Twice the size of the previous one is just still about 2 of my thumbnails, so still very small. And for such a small creature, that was a lot of ink. Wow. One of those. Look at that for a crab, well, for a creature. It's like an alien, doesn't it? A beautiful crab. Okay, in these seagrass beds will be all the shrimps. They'll be taking refuge right in here. I'll just go through it gently. I don't want to dislodge the seagrass. Wow, look at all of that. That's hardly surprising. This is where they would be. The open sand, you get a few, and what I was really hoping to get was a flatfish, and I haven't seen the footage yet, but we did disturb a flatfish, which I imagine was a small to medium sized sole. I'm hoping the flash of it as it darted away has been caught on the footage. We will see. If we pass the net through this area, for example, I'm sure there'll be a lot here. I mean, mean, it's only inches deep. That's fine. It's just inches deep. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's a few there. They were small, most of them escaped. There's a sizable one. So I'm not going to keep any of these. This is just for the sheer fun of it, to see what we can catch and see what's out there in a new area. It's always exciting. So far we've had a pipefish, which I'll show later, with a baby cuttlefish, which in this part of the world they call sesh, I think, sesh. I've had sand gobies, lots of shrimps, a few hermit crabs, a few common shore crabs, and a whelk. So we'll go through this area again, just go on the edges of it. Wow, some nice sized ones there, or at least compared to the ones I've been catching. These actually would make a lovely bait. That on the end of a float, that'd be a fine bass bait. I just saw some things jumping around here as well. Nice to catch some sand eels. I don't think I'll get sand eels here, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Right, we have a different type of plant here. I should know what it is, but I don't. I'll have to look it up. It's definitely a different type of plant. We've got some kind of sea slug here. Well, I'm just letting the water settle. But this is what we caught. And it even managed to get a little pipefish, which you can see here. A beautiful creature, part of the seahorse family. It's in the same family as the seahorses anyway. I'm not going to touch it, I'm not going to handle it because it's very small and I don't want to stress it too much, but we ended up catching quite a lot of shrimp, lots of hermit crabs. These crabs, they're fine, it's just holding on to another crab, so he's being very still. And then there's the cuttlefish, beautiful little cuttlefish. That's the one that inked, and I'm hoping that ink showed up in the video, we'll see. But there's the cuttlefish, the smaller one we put back. I'm going to put all of this back soon. But it's interesting, I now know that if we had continued shrimping, it would have been enough to have a small feed. Well, that was fun. 45 minutes with loads of stuff. Could have stayed on for longer, could have got a lot of shrimp. Like I say, could have got enough for a feed. But that wasn't the point of today's session. Today's session was just to have some fun, see what was out there. Like I say, it's a new place, always interesting. Really, really good fun. I really recommend it. So we're going to put all of these guys back. There they go. Right, there's the cuttlefish. Changed colour already. I doubt you saw that on the camera. There it is. Already changed colour. Amazing. That's the chromatophores in its skin. Those chromatophores, they know exactly what to do according to the colour that they're surrounded by. And that's how they change their colour so effectively. Amazing creatures.